Is what we see on TV real? I'm Ellie, someone who knows nothing about law enforcement.
And I'm Steve, a former police detective.
Join me as we check out policing representation.
So I think the next thing you're going to show me is Home Alone. Now, I do know this one. This is one of my favourite films of all time.
Really? Is this what made you want to be a police officer?
No, it made me want to be a burglar, and it made me want to stay in the house alone. So let's have a look. So Marv's going here with the crowbar, isn't he? And he's trying to get spot on. I mean, that's a good door for him that's stopping the crowbar from going in there. But Marv's trying, but I think he's tried the handle. So by now, something should be up there, shouldn't he? He should be thinking, hold on, this is a little bit too easy. But he's in, so he's now entering as a trespasser. So I think Marv's at this stage is guilty of burglary if we want to go talk about it in those sort of terms. He's about to commit an offence of obstructing electricity, which is what we might get. Unfortunately, this
really?
is it. Yeah, if he turned that, that is, nice. Yeah, if he'd actually turned a light on, there's arguably another criminal offence there of obstructing electricity, which is if you're not entitled to use electricity and you use it, you can be guilty of obstructing electricity.
So if I was like in a place where I was allowed, like if I was in a train station and there was a plug with a sign on it saying "Don't use for train station staff only," and I plug my phone in, I'd be doing a crime.
Yep, 100% obstructed.
Wow.
Shocking. Yeah. So all these people going
Everyone's
around
a criminal.
Everyone's obstructing left, right, and centre. I think it'd be a difficult one to prove that. Well, I don't know if they've got a sign saying "Do not use this." Then you know you haven't got permission. Most commonly, obstructing electricity is used by people that decide it's great risk to themselves to put on a pair of thick rubber gloves and try and bypass their electricity meter. Yeah, it's a bit of a high-risk strategy, as the number of people that get killed every year trying to do it can demonstrate. But yeah, so that's what obstructing normally is. So in theory, if you break into somebody's house and switch the lights on, they're obstructing electricity.
So is Kevin, is he also guilty of a crime in this? Because that is a pretty vicious attack there.
Well, I think it's an interesting one. If this was in England, we saw there was the case of Tony Martin that was quite a few years ago now in Norfolk, and Tony Martin was expecting burglars, and he basically had his house set up in such a way and that he was able to shoot and kill intruders. The level of pre-planning that went into the Tony Martin thing is, it's probably a little bit more severe than hitting Marv with an iron. But it's a similar sort of thing. You can't really be booby-trapping your house, try and hurt people. So I reckon Kevin's got a bit of a case to answer for some sort of assault. There would be an ABH or actual bodily harm or a grievous bodily harm there. And you can actually be guilty of GBH by causing people mental strain.
Really?
Causing people to be, I suppose it's in layman terms, it's if you do something horrible enough to somebody and it sort of drives them mad, then you can be guilty for the psychological damage that it does to them.
Oh, that's interesting. So that would be if it was something that was like, so not something like bullying or like emotional abuse, because abuse is like its own thing. What would it be that would it be like if I tried to attack someone with an iron and then it missed them, but they were still traumatized?
Yeah, I think there's, and this is where I'm starting to get a bit rusty in the law in this kind of area, but it's that, if you intend to do somebody damage and the damage you actually do is psychological rather than physical, then you can be guilty of an assault type of offence.
Interesting.
Even if supposing Kevin had rigged this up and Marv had seen the iron coming, if Marv had dived to the side and hadn't been hit by the iron, but Marv had knocked himself out on something else in the building, Kevin would be equally guilty of causing that to happen because Marv's reaction is kind of anticipated. Arguably this would never have happened if Marv hadn't gone in the first place. Well, that was quite time consuming, all that booby trap type stuff. And if you've ever just tried to balance a container of water on top of a door to get somebody, even that takes quite a few sort of misfires before you get right. And Kevin seems to have got this all right from the start. So I think Kevin would have had quite a good career as some sort of engineer in the army or something. Kevin would have been good at.